Hi everyone, this is Venkatesh Pandyan. Welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, you are going to learn the applications of equations of motion. Yes, before I start those applications, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to leave your comments at the end of the video and share with your friends if you like my content. Let's begin the applications of equations of motion. First of all, we should understand what are the four equations of motion. The first equation is V is equal to U plus AT. The second equation is V square minus U square is equal to S. The third one, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And fourth one, Sn is equal to U plus A into N minus half. So I think you're all aware of these four equations, and today I'm going to tell you some applications of these equations. Let us see the first one. The question is given like this. A boy moving with a uniform acceleration covers 100 centimeters in 2 seconds and 128 centimeters in 4 seconds. But they're asking the velocity of the boy at the end of 6 seconds. Let's solve this problem. So initially, yes, the boy is moving with some velocity, we don't know. Let us take it as v. But they're asking finally the velocity of the boy at this point. Okay. Now what I'll do is, it is given that he is covering 100 centimeters. This is 100 centimeter and the time is 2 seconds. In another 4 seconds, this boy has covered the distance of 128 centimeter. Here he may have some velocity v1. Here his velocity is different because as time changes, velocity also is different. Even the acceleration is constant. Okay. Now let us solve this problem. So to solve this problem, let me use this very simple equation. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. This problem is based on this particular what called as equation. So let us apply the first condition here. What is the distance traveled in first 2 seconds? 100. So 100 is equal to 2u plus half a into 4. Time is 2 seconds. So 100 is equal to u plus this is 2u plus 2a. That implies 50 is equal to u plus a. Let us take it as equation 1. Now what I'll do is I'll apply the same equation from beginning to this point. So if you take this, what is the total distance covered? 228. Total time 6 seconds. So therefore let us write the second equation. Total distance is 228 and what is the total time taken is equal to, again we'll write the same way, u the same, initial velocity same, but time is now in 6 seconds. So 6u plus half a into 36. Now if you simplify that, this will go by 6 3s are 18, 6 also 38 times is equal to u plus 18, so there will be 3 times. So VA, let us take it as equation 2. Now what we need to do is we need to solve both the equations. So I'll write the two equations. So this I can write 50 is equal to u plus a, 38 is equal to u plus 3a. Now if you solve them, so this become 12, yes, 0, so this become minus 2a. So actually is moving with 6 centimeter, he is moving with 6 centimeter per second retardation. He is moving with 6 centimeter per second square. He is moving with retardation. Now what we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find velocity after. In the question, he said find out the velocity after 6 seconds. So let us do that. So v is equal to, again I'll find out. Yeah, v is equal to u plus at. So before that, we have to find out initial velocity also. We got retardation. Now take this 6 and put it equation 2. If I put it here, what happens is 38 is equal to u minus 18. So that implies u is equal to 56 centimeter per second. So we got initial velocity as 56 centimeter per second, retardation as minus 6 centimeter per second. Now we have to find out velocity at the end of 6 seconds. So v is equal to, again use the formula v u plus at. So initial velocity is 56 minus a is 6, time is 6 seconds. So the answer is 56 minus 36. So at the end of 6th second, his velocity will be 20 centimeter per second. So at the end of is what we call it as 6th second. At the end of 6 seconds, his velocity will be after other 6 seconds. By the end of the other 6 seconds, so his velocity will be 20 centimeter per second. This is the answer. Now let's go to the second problem. So what is the second problem? This is a very simple problem. It's saying that the initial velocity of the car is u. Okay, let's take this car is moving with velocity u, and after some time its velocity is v. Okay, this is v. Then its velocity at the midpoint of the journey. Let's take this is the midpoint. So midpoint means the distance s by 2, here it is s by 2. So here we need to find. And one more thing, it is moving with again u, because equations of motion applicable only when the acceleration is constant. Okay, so here acceleration throughout the motion is constant. So for this problem, we use this equation v square minus u square is equal to 2s. I'll apply this equation 2 times. For the first part, if I apply, the final velocity is vm. So vm square, initial velocity u square is equal to 2a into s by 2. This is equation 1. Now, same equation let us apply for the second part. If I apply for the second part, this becomes the initial, this becomes the final. So therefore, v square minus vm square is equal to 2a s by 2, the second equation. Now from this it is very clear that both distances 2a s by 2, this term is constant. I can equate 1 is equal to 2. So let's equate 1 is equal to 2. So when I equate 1 is equal to, I get vm square minus u square is equal to this is v square minus vm square. So from this we write 2 vm square is equal to u square plus v square. Therefore velocity at the midpoint is the square root of u square plus v square by 2. This is the required answer. Velocity of the body at the midpoint is root over u square plus v square, but it's a simple problem. So this is depends on what called as equation of motion, that is v square minus u square by 2. Now let's move on to the next question. Yeah, so let's see what is this problem is all about. So we need to find out, a man is driving his car on the street in a city at a speed of 36 km/h. So this man is moving with the velocity 36 kmph. So 36 kmph is nothing but that is 5 by 18, so it will be 10 meter per second. It is 10 meter per second. Okay, 5 by 18, 18 to 0. Okay. Now we suddenly found that a boy is crossing the road. See, there is a boy who is crossing the road. This boy is crossing the road at this point. Okay, what happened? Found that a boy is crossing the road at a distance of 100 meter from his car. So the total distance from here to here, from the car till the point where he is crossing the road is, this is given as 100 meters from his car. He immediately applies the brakes and brought the car to rest after covering a distance of 20 meters. So here let us take, finally his velocity becomes 0, and what is the distance he covered? It is given as 20 meters. Okay, by applying the brakes he able to bring the car to what called as rest in 20 meter distance. Suppose now he is asking if he is driving at 54 kilometers per hour. 54 means what is in meter per second? 54 into 5 by 18, 50. So in the second case, suppose if he drives at 15 meter per second and finally has to bring it to rest, what is the distance in which he has to know? Yeah, he brought the car, how much distance? 41.5. He can bring the car in 41.25 meters. Then what is his question? What is the reaction time? Very, very important word. What is meant by reaction time? Let us understand. Here you should know the meaning of this term, reaction time. See, reaction time is nothing but the time taken by the driver to apply the brakes. That means after spotting the boy, how much, in what time he applies the brakes. That is the point. So if the reaction time is very less, yes, he'll apply the brakes immediately, and if more is the reaction time, he'll travel more distance. So reaction time means the time during which he applies the brakes. That time taken to apply the brakes is called reaction time. So let us understand this concept very clearly. So what you need to understand is, first here let us draw one more diagram. Initially imagine this is the car and it is moving with velocity u, and then he applied the brakes after covering certain distances. Remember, in this case from here to here he didn't apply any brakes. He took some time to apply the brake. This time to apply the brakes is called reaction time. Still is moving with same velocity. Now he applied the brakes, then he is moving with retardation, and somewhere he finally brings the car to rest. This distance, let us take it as this. So there are two distances before he bring the car to rest. One is S1. What is that S1? The distance covered by the car by the time he applies the brakes. And S2 is the distance covered by the car after the brakes are applied and finally it was brought to rest. Now let us calculate the first equation. Very simple. Since it is moving with uniform velocity, in this case acceleration 0. So simply S1 is velocity into time. And in the second case, final velocity is 0. So we apply the equation v square minus u square is equal to s. So 0 minus u square is equal to minus 2as, because 2s2. Because he is moving with retardation, we need to apply that. So from this I can say that es2 will be u square by what is that 2a, s2 equal 2a. Now that means what is the total distance? S1 plus S2 is equal to ut plus the other one is u square by 2a. So we have to apply this equation for this situation. Let us look at the first case. In the first case, he is moving with a velocity 10 meter per second and he brought the total distance taken by the man is 20. So first equation will be 20 is equal, because the total S1 plus S12 is 20. So what is the formula I gave here? What is that equation we got? It is U into T, and this T is called reaction time. We need to find out this T. Okay. Now let's go back. So this 20 is equal to U is 10 in the first case. So this will be 10T plus U square by 2A. What is U square again? 100 by 2A. This is first equation. In both the cases, retardation is the same. Now in the second case, what is the distance he took to stop the vehicle? 41.25. So 41.25 is equal to, again the velocity is 15T plus, U square is 225 by 2A. This is second equation. Now we need to solve both the equations to get the value of T. Let's see how to solve the two equations. So in the first equation, I think we can cancel that, or we can do one thing. I'll again write these two equations, or we can subtract 2 minus 1, or we can do one thing. We have to eliminate 1. So I'll get the value of T from the first equation right here. So the first equation we got is 20 is equal to 10T plus 100 by 2A. Okay, so I'll do this one. 20 minus 10T is equal to 100 by 2A. So from this, what is 2A? 100 upon 20 minus 10T. So what I'll do is, I'll take this value, I'll put it in the second equation. What is the second equation? In the place of 2A, we keep that. So what happens is, this is 41.25 is equal to 15T plus this 225 will be here, and this, if you substitute, this value will go up. So 20 minus 10T whole upon 100. Okay, because we are eliminating. Now we can simplify this with the 10 first. So 10 tens will be gone. This is 10 twos. This is 10 ones. Again, 5 twos will be there, and this will be 5 fours, 20, 5 fives, 45. So now we cross multiply. If I cross multiply this, I think you get it as 82.5. Okay, 82.5 is equal to, I'm taking LCM. This is 30T plus, you just cross multiply that. So this is 2 minus T is there. So again there is 90 minus 45T. So this 45T is 15T. So bring it this side. So 15T is equal to 90 minus 82.5. So 15T is equal to, this is 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. So T is equal to 7.5 by 15. This is nothing but 0.5 seconds. So the answer for this problem is 0.5 seconds. The reaction time of the driver is, the man who is driving the car, is 0.5 seconds. So first we need to understand this concept first. This is a very important concept you should understand. We got a relation first. What is the total distance? This time we call it as, there are two parts here actually. So you need to understand those two parts one by one. Then I apply this formula 2 times. and you simplify that, you get the answer. Now let's move on to the next problem. What is this next problem says? There are two friends, it seems, Ram and Sham are taking part in a car race. In that race, Ram takes time t less than Sham and passes the finishing point with a velocity v more than the velocity with which Sham passes the point. If both start from the same point from rest and drive their cars with a constant acceleration a1, a2, then we need to find out the relation between them. Actually, the question is, what is the value of then v by t is? This is the question actually. So, what is that v by t? In terms of that a1, a2, we need to find out. Okay. So, let us understand the two friends Ram and Sham. Let us take this fellow who is driving this car is Ram, and the other one who is driving the second car is Sham. Okay, let's take this one as Sham. Okay, now both are starting from rest, so 0. Let us take his velocity is v1, his velocity is v2, and he'll take time t1 second, he'll take time t2 seconds to reach. And in this case, acceleration of this one is a1, acceleration of this is a2. Right. So there is one important condition we should understand. What is that given? We'll say that in that race, Ram takes a time t less than Sham. So the difference between is taking so t2 minus t1 is equal to t. And one more condition is given, and with the velocity, he finishes the point with the velocity v more than, so that means v1 minus v2 is equal to v. So these are two important conditions you should understand. The time taken by Ram is less than the time taken by what we call as Sham. So that the difference of these two times is, that means Sham is taking more time when compared to Ram. And velocity, so from this it is very clear. So v1 will be greater than v2. So as v1 greater than v2, obviously time will be less than t1. Okay. Now what you need to do is, we need to find out this v by t value. It's a very simple problem. So let us do this. So I can write this v by t is equal to v1 minus v2 by t2 minus t1. If we can find out the values of this v1, v2, the problem is over. So how you solve? Let us take the first equation. We know that v square minus u square is equal to 2s. And one more point, since both are reaching the finishing point, so their distances covered will be same. Whatever the distance covered by Ram, the same distance even Sham also, because their starting point and finishing points are same, this distance is s only. So that should be an important point you should keep in mind. So for this one, I'll apply the first equation. So for Ram, if we apply, so his velocity is v1 square, his velocity is 0, and this is 2a1 s. So v1 is equal to root over 2a1 s. So similarly, I can write for Sham, v2 will be root over 2a2 s, because we apply the same equation. Again, we use the equation s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now s is equal to ut plus half at square. Here for both of them use 0. If we substitute that, time will be root over 2s by a. Time will be root over 2s by a. Now what is t1? Let's write out. So t1 becomes root over 2s by a1, and similarly t2 is equal to root over 2s by a. Now we got everything, and we'll put it in that formula. So that equation we got. So v by t is equal to, now v by t is equal to, what is that we get? v1 minus v2. What is v1? v1 is this. So root over 2a1 s minus root over 2a2s whole upon what is t1? t2 minus t1. t2 is root over 2s by a2 minus root over 2s by a1. If you observe clearly, everywhere is 2s. If you take common, it will get cancelled. So I left with here root a1 minus root a2 by 1 by root a2 minus 1 by root a1. Now only thing is we need to simplify that. If I take LCM for this one, this is equal to again root a1 minus root a2. Take LCM, it is root a1 minus root a2 by root over a1 a2. So again this will cancel, so this will be root over a1 a2. So ultimately the value of v by t is root over a1 a2. This is the required answer. This is again a very simple problem, and this is based on again the equations of motion. So I simply use the same equations, then we need to apply the conditions. Now let's go to the next problem. So what did this problem says? Yes, number of planks required we need to find out. Okay, whenever a bullet passes through a plank, it loses 1 by nth of its initial velocity. Okay, remember, let us take that the velocity of this bullet is u. Now let us take some velocity here, it is v. He is saying that whenever the bullet passes through one plank, it loses. That means this v becomes initial velocity minus 1 by nth of initial. So this will be u times n minus 1 by n. This is the velocity of the bullet after one plank. Now it will passes through number of planks and finally it will stop. It will be stopped by the last plank. Then the question is how many such planks are required to stop the bullet. So what we would consider is, let us consider, let x be the what called as each thickness of each plank, and imagine that let us consider this there are n number of planks. Total number of planks are capital N. Let me consider this value as capital N. Let us imagine that there are n number of planks. Okay, there are n number of planks. N is the total number of planks. So that means by the time it moves from the first plank to the last plank, the total distance covered by the bullet is Lx. So this problem can be solved with the simple equations of motion again. So what I use this equation, v is equal to v square minus u square is equal to 2s. I'll apply this equation for the first plank. I apply this equation for the first plank. If you look at the problem, before the first plank initial velocity is u, after the plank the velocity is u in 10 minus n by n. Distance covered is only x. Let us substitute that. So if I substitute these values, so final velocity I said u into n minus 1 by n, so whole square. So this becomes minus u square is equal to 2 into, actually it is retarding, velocity is decreasing with retarding, so we have to write minus a into x. So if I take u square common, I am writing directly, so it becomes n minus 1 whole square minus n square by n square is equal to minus 2x. Yeah, let us simplify this further. This becomes u square into n square plus 1 minus 2n minus n square whole upon n square is equal to minus 2x. So clearly here minus n square plus n square cancel. So you left with u square into 1 minus 2n by n square is equal to minus 2x. Let us take the equation 1. So this is the equation I got for when I apply this equation for the first plank. Now what we'll do is we'll apply the equation for the first plank and the last plank. When I take the first plank and the last plank, it's very simple. Here the velocity is u for the before the and finally the velocity becomes 0. Distance traveled is nx. Still it is moving with uniform retardation. Again, let us apply this equation for first and last plank. So I'm using the same v square. So final velocity is 0 minus in is u square 2 into minus a in the total distance traveled is nx because thickness of each plank is x. So that become minus u square is equal to minus 2a into nx. Let us take it as equation. So now what we do is simply we divide equation 2 upon equation 1. So when I divide equation 2 with equation 1, what is that we are going to get? Let us write down. So equation 2 is this side is minus u square and 1 this side is u square into 1 minus 2n by n square. This is equal to left side it is minus, so right side is minus 2nx, this side it is minus 2x. So we'll understand that this u square cancel and here this 2a xx cancel. So ultimately I left with n square by, there is a minus sign here, 1 minus 2n is equal to n is left. So take n common, minus common, ultimately n is equal to n square by 2n minus 1. This is the required number of planks to stop the bullet completely. Standard equation. The number of planks required to stop the bullet completely is n square by 2n minus 1. Now let's move on to the next problem. Yeah, what is this problem? Yes, it is also a similar one. Whenever a bullet passes through a plank, its velocity becomes 1 by n below. That means if I take this velocity u, now its velocity becomes u by n. That is the only difference. The remaining is the same. Again, we take this as x and there are n number of planks. Let us consider here the velocity becomes 0. The total distance traveled is nx. So again, the procedure is the same. So we'll apply for the first plank. When we apply this equation, v square minus u square is equal to 2h for the first plank. After the first plank, the velocity is u by n whole square minus u square minus 2x. So let's take u square common. It becomes 1 minus n square by n square is equal to minus 2x, equation 1. Very simple problem. If you understand the previous problem, this is very simple. Now I apply the same equation for the first and the last plank. So final velocity is 0, initial velocity u square is equal to minus 2a into nx. Let us take the equation 2. So the same procedure, divide 2 upon 1. Then divide 2 upon 1, what happens? So second equation is minus u square, first equation is u square into 1 minus n square by n square is equal to minus 2ax by minus 2a nx. Again we find that here u square cancel, 2a cancel, xx cancel. Sorry, reverse. This one we wrote reversely. So this is 2 by 1. So I'll get reverse. Here 2 is minus 2a nx upon minus 2x. Now if you see that 2a xx cancel. So number of bullets in this case, minus we take common, n square by n square minus 1. So these two are very important cases. you should be careful. If you read the two problems are slightly different. In the previous problem I said, in this problem I said, it loses, this is a very important sentence, it loses 1 by nth of its velocity. In the second problem I said, its velocity becomes 1 by n. Its velocity becomes 1 by n. So this is the main important point you should understand. Now let's go to the next problem. Okay, what is this problem? Can the tiger catches the deer? Let's see. Very simple problem. A tiger at rest. So tiger at rest means, let us take the velocity of the tiger 0. Spots a deer at a distance of 100 meters, which is also rest. Okay, deer is also at rest. And what is the separation between them? Initially 100 meters. The tiger starts chasing the deer with an acceleration of 2 meters per second square. Then the moment it starts, it spotted the deer. Now this tiger started moving with an acceleration of 2 meters per second square. Okay. To save himself, the deer starts accelerating with an acceleration of 3 meters. Yeah, it has to move with more acceleration. So acceleration of deer is 3 meters per second square. Now the question is, if the tiger chases the deer for 5 minutes, can he kill the deer? Okay. Now, let us find out first how much distance the deer will travel in that 5 minutes. Then you'll understand. Okay. Let us write down for deer. If you write for deer, we apply the equation S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So distance traveled by deer SD is equal to initial velocity 0 plus half. What is the acceleration of the deer? 3. And very important, time. Time is how much given? 5 minutes. So even the deer also we are finding how much distance the deer will travel in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes means 300 seconds. So 300 whole square. This is a very important thing. So from this we understand that distance traveled by the deer SD is equal to 0. No need to write the 0 value. So this is half 3 into 9 into 10 power 4 I'll write in terms of powers. Okay. So this is nothing but 27 by 2 into 10 power 4 meters. Now in that time, what is the distance traveled by tiger? That also let us calculate. The same way for tiger, let us apply the same formula. Distance traveled by tiger is, again the initial velocity of tiger 0 plus half. What is the acceleration of tiger? It is 2 meters per second square into again 300 square. So clearly 2 cancel. This is 9 into 10 power 4. If you simplify this, this is 13.5 into 10 power 4 meters, or we can say 135 kilometers, 10 per meter. So 135 kilometers. Here it will travel only 90 kilometers. And one more thing, initially, that means why this tiger? Now what is the question? Can the tiger kill the deer? No. Why? Because in 5 minutes the deer could travel 135 kilometers, but tiger traveled only 90. So this deer is 45 kilometers away. So by the time this tiger stops, this has traveled extra 45 kilometers. So it's not possible. Okay, the tiger cannot kill the deer. Now let's see the next problem. Yeah, very interesting problem this is. How long will he take to fall? What is this question? Let us see. A drunkard is walking along a straight road. Okay. Yeah, this fellow is walking along a straight road. He takes 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward and so on. So how is walking? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like this every time. And again he'll take 3 steps backward. 1, 2 and 3 like this. So he'll take 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. He'll take 5 steps forward and again he'll take 3 steps backward. Now what is the question? For each step he takes 1 second and each step is 1 meter long. Drunkard doesn't know that there is a shallow pond is there, right? This fellow is doing, he doesn't know that there is a pond at this point, there is a pit, okay? And he's asking a distance of 11 meters. There is a, what you call that this pit is there at a distance of 11 meters, okay? After how much time he will fall into the pit? This is a simple question. Yeah, physics is all about the daily everyday applications. Okay, now let us find out. If we take 5 steps, 5 seconds, and we'll cover 5 meters, and again we'll take 3 meters back. So in what is the total time taken? 5 seconds plus 3 seconds, 8 seconds. In 8 seconds, net distance covered is only 2 meters. After every 10 seconds, he'll cover only 8 meters. Why? Because he is taking 5 steps forward, 5 meters, but 3 meters he is walking backward. So that's why net distance from his initial position is 2 meters. But how much time is taking? 8 seconds. He'll take 8 seconds. Now, let us take another 8 seconds. He'll walk, and he'll walk for another 8 seconds. Another 8 seconds, 2 meters. That means after 16 seconds, he covered 4 meters. He'll walk another 8 seconds again, and again he'll cover 2 meters. Now what happens? If you look at, after this is 24 seconds he covered, I mean he traveled, but he covered only 6 meters. Now listen. That means now this fellow is at a distance of 6 meters from the pond. Now what happens? After that, he'll take another 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time he takes the 5th step, this fellow will fall into the pond. So in this case, he'll take another 5 seconds. So what is the total time he took to cover 6 seconds? 24 seconds, another 5. The total time, or the time after which the drunkard fall into the pond, is 29 seconds. Very interesting problem. So since he's taking 1 second for each 1 meter and he's traveling 1 meter, so after 8 seconds 2 meters, because 5 meters forward, 3 meters backward, net distance covered is only 2 meters. So after 16 seconds, 4 meter, distance covered 6 seconds. After 24 seconds, he'll travel only 6 meters. There is 5 more, steps he has to take, and by the time 5th second, he cannot come back because he'll fall into the pit. So this is the last problem. So all these problems that we have seen in this video are all based on the equations of motion. I applied only the 5 equations that we have learned, and these are all based on the equation, different applications we have seen in these equations of motion. Yeah, once again, thank you for watching my videos, and do not forget to subscribe my channel, and please share with your friends. Happy physics learning. Once again, thank you all.